Thank you for watching this video on how to use the email throughput utility. This utility can be used to measure the throughput of your email engine. You can use a utility to help troubleshoot a slow outgoing email issue, and it can be used periodically to monitor your performance over time. To use it, you'll have to let the email engine run with the finest level logging during a long enough time frame to capture a good sample of data, but you can let it run for several days if you like. So let me show you quickly how to use this utility. I'm going to copy this URL from the communities page and open it up on my test system. Now I'm on my test system. I'm going to go to the URL for the communities page, and it'll pull up the knowledge article that explains how to install, how to use this utility, and examples on how you might take the data that is generated by the utility to create some charts that might be useful to you. The key thing is that you find the latest version of the utility attached to the document, download that file, and then simply unzip it into a folder. I'm just going to put it into a folder called Email Throughput right off of my C drive. And now that's all you need to do, install it. So to use it, what you do is you find your email.log file. Now from here, all I need to do is drag the log file onto the batch file. And this will automatically start processing the log file through the utility. And you'll see I have a file already starting to be generated called Throughput Analysis. And we'll just wait a few minutes for this to be completely analyzed. You can also run this utility from the command line, which is what you need to do if you're using Unix. Let me open up the README file here, and it shows the exact syntax. It's just java-jar, and then the email throughput.jar file name, and you add an input parameter of -i using your log file name. So that's all you need to do if you're going to run this from Unix. I had let my logs run in finest mode for about 2 full days, and you can see it's about 3.5 gigabytes, and it's roughly 25 million log lines. So it did take a little bit of time for it to be processed. I'd say it took probably between 30 and 40 minutes. And once it's done, we'll open up the file in a text editor, and you can see what it provided. And the contents of this file are documented in README. So the first section is a CSV formatted file, so you can open this up in Excel and create charts off of it. But you can see in here I have multiple mailboxes that are all being recorded, and different counters are being calculated for each email that got sent. So we calculate things like the total time to prepare the email, the total time to grab information through a SQL statement, that's the query time, the total time to actually send it to the post office. And so all these counters we collect, and at the end of the CSV section, we do some totals for you. And this is probably what's going to be useful when you are monitoring your system. So we show you when the log started and stopped, and in that time, 412,000 emails were sent. Total duration of that was about almost 24 hours, and the average emails per hour in that time frame was about 17,386 emails per hour. So that's my throughput, and that's one of the numbers that I want to look at. One thing I want to show you is directly above this section is the emails sent per hour each hour. So if I have busy times during the day, maybe my system or network or something is slower during certain parts of the day, I can look and I can see, well, the average of 17,000 per hour, it does look about right. Although at some points I had slightly lower and some points I had slightly higher. I see 20,000 per hour here, and I see 13,000 per hour here. I would guess maybe the low 12,000 here might have been because during that hour, it wasn't a full hour because that's when I started the logs. So anyway, that information is all useful to help you understand your throughput of your email engine. There's other counters here that you might look at, and one is the per mailbox. So in the time that I had the logging enabled, mailbox SMTP1 sent out 167,000 mails. And my other mailboxes sent less, but they sent about equal. So you could probably guess that SMTP1 was my default outgoing mailbox, and the other ones were probably special purpose mailboxes. So all this information here should help you to judge your throughput of your email engine, and then you can monitor this, enable the logs maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month, and then come back and look and see how you're doing to gauge whether or not you have worse throughput or not. Well, that's all there is to installing and using the email throughput utility. Thanks for watching.